about the history second chapter, that is the extension of the British rule. So up till now we studied how the Britishers they took help of the different policies to conquer the different areas of India. Here the north region which was under the Sikhs. Here two Anglo-Sikh wars were fought to conquer the north region, and in southern region the Mysore and the Marathas were strong. So here they wanted to defeat Hyder Ali, Tipu Sultan and the Marathas to conquer the southern area of India. So here already we studied about two Anglo-Maratha wars. First Anglo-Maratha war which took place from 1774 to 1775 to 1782, and second Anglo-Maratha war which took place from 1817 to 1818. And also Lord Wellesley, who came to India as a Governor General, he implemented a cunning policy, that is a subsidiary alliance. Through this policy he conquered many areas. So here already studied about the conditions of the subsidiary alliance. Means the Indian king, whoever accepted or who entered into this agreement, that is subsidiary alliance, he had to agree the conditions which the Britishers had set to him. So here in detail we have studied about the conditions. Here the conditions of the subsidiary alliance, it is very important regarding your examination. So many a times they have asked this question for about 2 or 3 marks. So depending upon the marks you have to write the answer. So here which was the first state to enter into the subsidiary alliance in India? That question also they have asked many a times for 1 mark. So Hyderabad was the first state to enter into the subsidiary alliance agreement. Later on many states like Satara, Mysore, Aur, Tanjore, Gwalior and all these places entered into subsidiary alliance. So today we shall study about Third Anglo-Maratha War, that is which took place from 1817 to 1818. So here the second Anglo-Maratha War which took place from 1803 to 1805. In that, Bajirao II, who was the Peshwa of Maratha, to take the help from the Britishers, he entered into subsidiary alliance. So here, by the Third Anglo-Maratha War, the Marathas they became more weak, and they had to give most of their regions to the Britishers. So here, this Third Anglo-Maratha War, which took place from 1870 to 1880. So by this Third Anglo-Maratha War, almost the rule of the Marathas was ended, and the places or the territories which were of Maratha, they were under the British. So here, what was the main reason for the Third Anglo-Maratha War was the Bajirao II, he wanted to free himself from the clutches of the Britishers. That is, he wanted to free himself from this subsidiary alliance. So here, to free himself from that agreement, he fought against the British. So he attacked the Britishers at Pune. And also the many Maratha chieftains, they also supported him. But the Britishers, they defeated Bajirao II and they abolished this post of Peshwa and took under almost the territories of the Marathas under them. By this, the rule of the Marathas was almost ended. So see here, Third Anglo-Mysore War, that is from Maratha War, that is from 1817 to 1818. The Maratha families tried their best to protect their independence and honor. Even the Peshwa attempted to free himself from the clutches of the company. That is, Peshwa means Bajirao II. Already you know, in Second Anglo-Maratha War, Bajirao II, he had entered into the agreement. Which agreement? Subsidiary alliance. So now, he wanted to free himself. So the Peshwa, he attacked the British residency in Pune and burned it down. So what he did? He attacked the British residency, means where the Britishers lived, at Pune, and he burnt that place. Appa Sahib of Nagpur and Malhar Rao Holkar rebelled against the British and were suppressed ruthlessly. So see here, not only Bajirao II but also Appa Saheb of Nagpur and Malhar Rao Holkar. These both also they rebelled against the British. They were also against the British. But these all were defeated by the British. Means now the Marathas were weak compared to the British. Finally, Peshwa Bajirao II fought against the British at Koregaon and Asti and later surrendered to the British. So see here, the Marathas, they had to surrender themselves to the British, and by surrendering themselves they were almost lost. The British abolished the Peshwa post and granted a pension to Bajirao II. So see here, the Britishers, whatever the Peshwa post was there in Marathas, they abolished that Peshwa post, and Bajirao II was given a pension. Means so much pension will give you, but you are not considered as the king of Marathas, they said to the Marathas. They installed Pratap Simha, the descendant of Shivaji, as the ruler of Satara. So see here, Pratap Simha, descendant, successor of Shivaji. They made Pratap Simha, who was the successor of Shivaji, as the ruler of Satara. Satara, it is a place. Now also that place name is Satara only in Maharashtra. So here Pratap Simha was made the ruler or successor of Shivaji, was made the ruler of Satara. A minuscule state and named him as the traditional leader of Marathas and suppressed the Maratha resistance. So it is minuscule means very small area or very small territory, Satara. So he was made only that place leader and the leader of Marathas, only for namesake, so that again the Marathas should not rebel against the British. So the Britishers were very cunning. So here the Marathas should not fight against them, so they made the successor of Shivaji, that is Pratap Simha, the ruler of Satara, and gave them that place, and the leader of, also he was made the leader of Marathas. By this what happened, the Britishers, that is the East India Company, became more stronger compared to the Marathas, and they could continue their rule in India. So this is about the Third Anglo-Maratha War, which took place from 1870 to 1818. So by this war, the entire Maratha supremacy over southern area was lost. So this much is about the three Anglo-Maratha wars and also about subsidiary alliance. So next year, the consolidation of the British power from 1818 to 1857. So see here, 1857. In 1857, the Indian First War of Independence was fought. So from 1818, that is after the end of Third Anglo-Maratha War, up till the First War of Indian Independence, that is 1857, how all the Britishers they conquered the other places in India. The British completed their agenda of ruling the entire India from 1818 to 1857. They occupied major states like Sindh, Oudh and many other smaller states. So see here, they occupied most of the places, that is from 1818 to 1857, the other remaining areas which were not under their control, those places also they occupied to show their supremacy. And their intention was only that to conquer the entire India and to rule entire India. So they were successful in their agenda. Their agenda was almost completed. So next, Anglo-Sikh Wars. These two wars are not mentioned differently. In one paragraph only they have covered everything. So here two Anglo-Sikh wars were fought to conquer the northern region of India. So here the Sikhs, among the Sikhs, Ranjit Singh was more powerful king. So they wanted to defeat Ranjit Singh. So here they are waiting for any opportunity so that they could conquer the northern area of India. So in 1839, when Ranjit Singh died, their political anarchy was broken. Political anarchy means, like Ranjit Singh, there was no other Sikh such powerful ruler to rule the northern region of India. So now the Britishers, they were waiting for that opportunity only. So when Ranjit Singh died in 1839, they considered this as an opportunity to conquer the north part of India. So see here what happened. A political anarchy broke out in Punjab after the death of King Ranjit Singh in 1839. The British attempted to invade Punjab, violating the continuous friendship pact they had with the erstwhile king. So now see, the Britishers, anyhow they wanted to conquer the northern region. So already you know how the Britishers were cunning. So they one by one, after the death of Ranjit Singh, one by one they were sending friendship pacts to sign with the erstwhile king. Erstwhile means who was the earlier former older king. To that region they wanted to make friendship, and only for namesake they wanted to make friendship, but anyhow they wanted to rule that area. In December 1845, a war broke out between the British and Punjab. Sensing the danger from an outside force, Hindus, Sikhs and Muslims got together to defeat the British. So in 1845, a war broke between the British and the Punjab. So here in Punjab, the Muslims, the Hindus and the Sikhs, they got together and they fought against the British. Why? Because they didn't wanted to give that region or that area to the British. So here finally they had to accept defeat due to few traitor leaders. So already you know few traitor leaders means the military leader or some other leaders who helped the Britishers to win the war. So here due to such leaders, they had to accept the defeat. Who? The Punjabs, who fought against the British. They signed a humiliating Lahore Agreement in 1846. So Lahore Agreement was signed in 1846. Lahore Agreement was signed between the British and the Punjab. Why? Because the Punjabs were weak compared to the British due to some traitor leaders. So they had to accept their defeat. They signed a humiliating Lahore Agreement in 1846, with the British resident became the de facto ruler of Punjab. Like this, Punjab became the dependent state of East India Company. So here see, by signing this Treaty of Lahore in 1846, the British became the de facto ruler. De facto ruler means the real ruler. Who became the Britishers? That is, the East India Company became the real ruler of the Punjab. And by this way, the region of North India or the Punjab area was conquered by the British. Now here, the Sikh opposed the attempts by the British to rule Punjab directly. The opposition were led by Chhattar Singh Atariwala in Lahore and Mool Raj in Multan. Again the people of Punjab were defeated. Finally Lord Dalhousie merged the state of Punjab with the British Empire. So here see, again after this Lahore Agreement, the Sikhs, they again opposed against the rule of the British in Punjab. So see here, Chhattar Singh Atariwala at Lahore and Mool Raj in Multan, these both protested against the British. So here, when they protested against the British, now British what they did? They defeated these all people and mixed the administration of Punjab with the entire administration of India. So here they brought under the British rule. This Punjab also and it was also considered a part of British Empire. So in this way, this much is about Anglo-Sikh Wars. So here, after death of Ranjit Singh, it was very easy for the Britishers to conquer the Punjab. So when Ranjit Singh died in 1839. So whenever they ask you the question, write about the Anglo-Sikh Wars, you have to mention the important parts, that is the death of Ranjit Singh and the war which broke between the British and the Punjab in 1845, and at last Lahore Agreement was signed in 1846. By this what happened? The entire Punjab went under the British rule or British Empire. So here see, today you studied about Third Anglo-Maratha War which took place in 1817 to 1818 and the two Anglo-Sikh Wars. By this way, the southern area, that is Marathas area, and in north the Punjab region was conquered by the British. Now the Mysore state was left. So about Mysore state you will study in the next chapter, that is fourth chapter. 4 Anglo-Mysore wars were fought and the entire Mysore region was conquered by the British. So by this I will end today's class, and we shall see next doctrine of lapse, that is in another class. So thank you students.